You've posted, you've run ads, and you've worked with agencies, and still your marketing isn't working the way that it should. What's the problem? Most people have never ever actually had a real online presence audit done for their business. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about looking into your digital footprint as a strategist would. It's not just about, wow, is this site pretty? Or how many likes are we getting? What it's really about is, are your offers clear, and are they clear within 5 seconds? When people say their marketing isn't working, it's rarely about effort. It's actually about misalignment. Most businesses don't need more tactics. What they really need is welcome to the Disruptionist, where the status quo has no seat at the table. I'm Jess Singh, and this is your invitation to join the movement of game-changing, boundary-pushing strategies that will take your marketing, branding, and customer journey to the next level. Let's get disruptive. You've posted, you've run ads, and you've worked with agencies, and still your marketing isn't working the way that it should. What's the problem? You are essentially trying to fix a system that you never actually audited. You're tweaking tactics without checking alignment, and it's like trying to fix a leaky boat with duct tape when the real problem is a hole below the surface that you can't even see. So what I want to explain to you is what strategy actually means. It isn't a checklist. This is one of the key things I want you to walk away with today. Strategy is a lens. It's how we see what others commonly miss. And when I step into the business as a fractional CMO, the first thing that I would do is audit what already exists within your business. Not so I can criticize you, but it's about making sure that we uncover the blind spots that are quietly costing you sales, trust, and opportunity. Today, I'm walking you through 5 overlooked areas where businesses lose leads, you end up missing the right positioning for your business, and unknowingly sabotage your own growth. And basically, I'll teach you what we can do to fix them. Let's start with the audit itself. This is about finding the gold in the blind spots. Most people have never ever actually had a real online presence audit done for their business. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about looking into your digital footprint as a strategist would. It's not just about, wow, is this site pretty? Or how many likes are we getting? What it's really about is, are your offers clear? And are they clear within 5 seconds? Is your messaging consistent from the ad all the way through to the email and then through to the website? Are your calls to action even working? I'll give you an example. I once audited a coaching site where the CTA buttons were broken. In fact, from what we could tell, we think they were broken for 6 months. Leads were being lost every day and no one knew. And that's what I mean by blind spots. Let's move on to the next aspect, right? Have you done a marketing gap and competitor analysis? One of the things that I loved about Joe Foster from Reebok is he talks about finding the white space. Why is this important? Because your competitors aren't your enemy, they're actually your intel. When we audit the market, it's not about going out there and trying to copy them. What we're looking for is finding the gap. Where are they overpromising and under-delivering? What is it that they're not saying that you know your ideal client is desperate to hear? Here's an example. There's a law firm that I'm reviewing right now, but they sound like every other firm out there, right? Have we heard it before? Oh, we're reliable, we're experienced, and we're totally professional. Well, I'd hope so, right? But the gap that I've found is that nobody in their local area is owning the human first fixed fee space. And these guys, all they need to do is claim it and they'll stand out instantly. So here's a pro insight for you. You don't need to say something new. You need to say something true. It's something that others are too slow or too scared to claim right now. Let's move on to the customer journey. We've spoken about this a lot and I'm going to continue to do it. This is where you are most likely losing customers. Conversion sabotage usually happens after the click. You get the attention, they end up visiting your site, maybe they even opt in, and then what? We hear crickets, right? Well, here's why. Your journey isn't built to move them forward. It's probably too disjointed and it's really leaky. Here's another example that'll help you realize maybe this could be you. Hi guys, I'm just jumping in quickly to stop you there. I just wanted to remind you, if you're a small business owner or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to gain some clarity or strategies around your marketing, branding, the way in which you can work with customers, you can contact me by checking out the information below. I'm here to support you to start making some really positive disruptions to the industry that you work in and for you and your business. Right back to the episode. A business I know had a killer lead magnet with tons of downloads, but no sales. So what's the giveaway here? Well, it came down to the fact that the follow-up emails were corporate and cold. This tone was totally misaligned with their fun and edgy brand. You tell me, would your trust be broken if this is what would happen, to you? I know for me, at that point where there's misalignment, that's where my interest would fade. So what's the fix here? Well, why don't we start by mapping out the entire customer journey? We've heard it all before, right? There's all these different stages. We're talking about awareness, interest, consideration, decision, onboarding, and one of the things that a lot of people forget, loyalty. Once we've done that, what you need to do is ask, well, where is it that we might be losing belief from our customers? Where are we creating confusion? This then takes us to the next step. It's all about planning, and it's about planning your priorities, because strategy isn't always about doing more. In fact, I'm going to go out there and say it, you don't need more marketing. What you need is better prioritization of what it is that you're doing right now. When we at Virtually CMO deliver a strategy-first engagement, we don't hand over a 97-point to-do list for you. We actually focus in on the 3 to 5 things that will move the needle in your business. And we'll also tell you what not to waste time on. So I'll give you an example. I've got a client that wanted to build a podcast. They wanted to launch a YouTube channel. They wanted to redo their entire website, and the list goes on. And they wanted it all done at the same time. So what did I do? I put a pause on all of it. We worked out the top 3 priorities that would move the needle for this particular business. So for them, it was about scaling the membership revenue, because it was all about making extra money and making money now. Number 2, we realized that we needed to actually strengthen the impact that they were having on social media. It wasn't about contact, it was about impact. Third, it was really important that we optimize their marketing technology. Really strange, right? But this was one thing that I knew would actually change things from an efficiency perspective and actually able them to have marketing that was going to work for them. So the rule of thumb is that if everything is important, then nothing is, right? Strategy gives you permission to ignore 90% of the noise. Isn't this something that sounds like a relief to you as a business owner? Let's move on to the next aspect. Your brand message needs to align across all channels. If you sound like 5 different people across 5 platforms, you've already lost trust. Your message should sound like you, and you need to sound like you everywhere. On your website, in your DMs, in every email, and on every sales call. Most businesses don't notice the misalignment, but guess what? Their clients do. So I know when I was reviewing a brand whose Instagram was all fun and friendly, where did they go wrong? Well, their website. Their website was corporate. It felt stiff. The client journey felt like a bait and switch almost. And the conversations and conversions were really starting to have an impact, and they were suffering. So here's the fix for you. Make sure you unify your brand voice. Make sure every touch point reinforces who you are, what you stand for, and who you serve. So let's think of it this way. Strategy is the simplifier. When people say their marketing isn't working, it's rarely about effort. It's actually about misalignment. Most businesses don't need more tactics. What they really need is to see their business clearly, end to end. That's what strategy is. It's not about being clever. It's about being cohesive. If this episode made you realize you've got blind spots, or if your gut's been telling you something's off, please, please, please don't ignore it. Drop the word audit into the comments, and I'll send you a free checklist to self-assess your current marketing. And it will help you assess your marketing across these 5 areas we've just spoken about. I'm Jess Singh from Virtually CMO. This is The Disruptionist. And remember, growth doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what actually matters. I'd love to leave you with that. and see what you think. Thanks for joining me on The Disruptionists. If this episode sparked new ideas or challenged your thinking, I'd love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe to your favourite platform to catch every disruptive insight. For more behind-the-scenes content and to connect with like-minded disruptors, follow me at It's Jess Singh across all social platforms. And remember, stay disruptive.